Money, 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 money. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Owemba Wazi. I am so excited to have you back. Thank you for tuning in. Here at this channel, we are all about growth and personal development and, of course, living the life. Welcome to this amazing video. I hope it's amazing and interesting. So let's get right into it. So, as you have seen the title, I am talking about my 20s, how I'm trying to live and not, just lose it all. And I don't know about you guys. I don't know how old you are or what you have experienced, but what I know is that for me, my 20s have been a little bit of a struggle. I have struggled through a lot. I have kept pushing. Sometimes I've tried to give up. I have wanted to give up lots of times, but we keep moving on, we keep trying to live, we keep trying to do our best and to give life whatever we can so that we get back what is good for us and we get back what is, of course, better than what we had before. Now, what prompted me to talk about my quarter life crisis? Well, for starters, I'm around that age, between 25 to 30, that age that is really about what can I do? What do I do? What am I doing? What is going on? Sometimes you feel like you're just putting out a fire and then you're jumping right into the other, and it's just a whole mess. But I believe it gets better, and that's what I keep telling myself, that it gets better. And that's what people keep telling me. So what prompted me to talk about this? Yes, early this week, I met with someone, a colleague of mine. I hadn't seen them in a while. So they go, hi. I'm like, what's up? They like, long time. I'm like, yeah, it's been a while. And then they go ahead and the next thing they ask me is like, so what's going on, marriage or kids? And I'm like, at the back of my mind, I just responded and told her there was nothing of the sort, no marriage, no kids, just living the life. And then, but at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, isn't there more to life that you could have asked about? Or does that mean that if I don't have kids or if I'm not married, then my life isn't going right? And of course, these are the things that we keep asking ourselves, especially in your 20s, because wherever you go, someone is telling you, okay, when are you planning to get married, or when are you having kids, or a lot of things. Like I said, you're putting out a fire and then jumping right into the other. So I decided to just talk about how I am trying to live in my 20s through every moment, however it is. And of course, I don't know about many of you, but I feel like what we struggle with in our 20s is mostly career and relationships, and then money. It's literally what you're going through. But I believe it's because you're from school, okay, and you've had this schedule or this routine with school, and then suddenly that is on a pause or to an end. It's like, what next? Okay, so you're asking yourself, what next? What do I do? And some people have their life figured out, good for them. But if you don't, then you start struggling. And of course, even when you have support from family or friends or whatever, there's a lot that happens that you experience by yourself. Okay, and I've experienced a lot by myself because of things that people don't know about, maybe things that people know, or things that are actually situations that are similar to my colleagues, people around my age as well. And it can be a mess, like I said. But what do I do? Personally, I think why I even decided to share this video is when I'm talking about my struggles, I'm also going to mention what I've prioritized, because I realized that at some point you just have to pick out a few things and say, you know what, through this mess, I am going to focus on this. So the fire is burning, but I'm just trying to pick out this. You can't gather everything, right? So there's a system that I have for myself, the questions that I ask myself, and for each aspect I ask myself what, why, and how. I believe these three questions help me and guide me along the way. Career, for example, which is the first thing I'm going to talk about. In my career, I ask myself what do I want, or what am I doing? What am I going to do in my career? So if it is continuing with school, what am I studying? If it is work, what am I going to do? And then why am I doing it? Mostly the why is what gives you purpose, and the why is what helps you to determine what you're going to prioritize, because there's a lot of things that are going to need us. If it is school, or if it is work, if it is following your professional career, or choosing to do something totally different from what you studied, or the side hustles, or all the businesses that you're involved in, choosing what to prioritize among all of that instead of trying to juggle it all at the same time and then failing at everything. The question why is what helps, because you get a reason for each and everything. Those are the questions that I always ask myself, and I know that sometimes you don't always have the answer, but when you write down things and you table it out, at least I'm sure that you can get something that will guide you along the way. So ask yourself why, ask yourself what, and then why, and then how am I going to get there? If I've said that I want to keep pursuing my career, or if I've decided that I'm going to venture into business and give that most of my time and not, my 9-to-5 job, how am I going to do that? It's all about these three questions. For me, that is how I find my priorities. And when you finally determine what your priorities are in your career, then focus on that. Give it time. Give it all it takes and keep assessing yourself. How far have you gone towards your goal? What have you done to, fulfill this that you've set apart to do? But also, this age where we are, there's a lot of, you have to have a side hustle. And I see people talking about this a lot on the timeline, like how entrepreneurship is not for everyone. And also realize that this is the age where we have a lot of things to do. Like I said, we are trying to juggle it all, and the standard has been raised by lots of young people. So we are being challenged every day, and there's a lot of juggling needed. There's a lot of work that we have to put in. So you have to know what is good for you as a person and not compare yourself to other people as you're trying to chase your career, because we're at a point where you need multiple sources of income, but it might not be something that you're strong at. So what do? Do you try to live up to people's expectations, or do you continue in your line and be successful along the way? So those are all the things that I personally try to ask myself and try to consider. And it might not be easy, but asking these questions help. It might not be easy, but trying to prioritize things that are specifically to your needs, instead of focusing on what everyone is doing out there, what is on the internet, or what people think is right for you, really helps. I've found it really helpful for me. So ask the right questions, find out what do you want to do, why do you want to do it, and then get into the process of how you're going to get there, and continue assessing yourself and prioritize it, put it first and focus on it. And I believe you're going to get better. Ultimately, I believe life gets better. We have to get out of our comfort zones. You have to sacrifice and then take risks. Okay, we have to. We are still young. Sometimes I'm like, just do it. If you fail, you'll learn from it. You'll move on. You'll get better. So I take risks. I try to sacrifice. Last year when I decided to make applications to pursue further studies, I was like, I didn't think there was a time when I would be paying for multiple applications, like getting money and just paying for this, because there's uncertainty that is there. You don't know whether you'll get it, but I have to make the sacrifices. So those small sacrifices, and of course even the big ones, you have to jump in and see where it goes. You never know, it will get better. If it doesn't, we are still at an age where we can adjust. And don't forget to assess yourself, because assessment is what helps us to keep on track. And then when it comes to relationships, like I said, the one thing that prompted me to talk about this was someone asking me whether I had kids or marriage at the age where they expect me to be having them. When it comes to relationships, again, the questions apply. What, why, and how. Whatever kind of relationship it is, I always ask myself, what do I want out of this? And if I'm having this person for a friend, if I'm dating this person, what are they gaining from our relationship? How am I giving back to them, and what are they giving to me? How are we supporting each other? How are we building each other? So that is how I find meaning in a relationship. But most importantly, you have to be aligned. If it's your goals, how are they aligned? What is the one thing that gives you a purpose to just keep pushing your relationship forward or your friendship forward? What gives it meaning? Especially, what are you prioritizing at this point when it comes to relationships? When you know what you want, you put it out there first and start focusing on things that are meaningful, And when you're investing your time and resources and whatever you're investing in the relationship, you know it is going to result into something, or you're working towards something. Even if it doesn't work out, at least you tried, right? One thing that I kept reminding myself of, especially in this, in my late 20s, is that keep the right people around, but most importantly, when you're keeping the right people around, be right for them. Okay, like don't have relationships where you're just taking and taking and not giving back. But try to know what someone is working on. If you have friends that have businesses, support them. If you want to start something, consult them, and just keep growing together, because we're also at an age where we need to support each other. You cannot do it alone. I think that's what I say also. Like, you just can't do everything alone. You need people in your life. But most importantly, how you need people in your life is how other people also need you. So if you can help someone, if you can be of use to someone, then make your relationships healthy, make your friendships healthy, and keep growing. But also, we are at an age where it's okay to adventure. I mean, try whatever you can. Like I said, if it doesn't work out, you move on. You learn from it. We make mistakes and learn and keep moving forward. And I think another thing that I have to mention when I talk about relationships with the what and why and how is when it comes to what, the questions that I ask myself with the what is, what do I want, but also what am I, to try and know myself. Because I felt at some point that if you don't know yourself, how are you going to start understanding someone? Like, if you learn to understand yourself, then it's going to be better for you to try and understand someone, which is important in a relationship, trying to understand people. But get to know yourself, get to love yourself, be there for yourself, have a relationship with yourself first before you can try to have a relationship with other people. Because if you don't know yourself, it's going to be hard for you to know other people. If you don't love yourself, it's going to be hard for you to love other people. So have that relationship with yourself. If you need to take time and just get to know you and get to adventure, then do it. Spare some time for yourself, love yourself, take care of yourself, and then start to venture into the other meaningful and healthy relationships with other people before you bring them in. So yeah, like I said, again, ask yourself the questions: the what, the why, and how in relationships. What do you want? What are you? Know yourself, have a relationship with yourself, and then try to look out for what you want. If you don't want to waste time, if you want to adventure, it is okay. Just do you, live your life. But find out why. Why are you having this relationship? Why are you friends with this person? Why are you dating this person? What are you getting out of it? What are they getting out of it? How are you aligned with this person? So yeah, I know it can be a lot. I know it is a lot to handle, and it is lots of work, especially with social media out there and trying to please the internet. I think that's what I can say. But yeah, you have to remember that at the end of the day, it comes down to you. At the end of the day, it comes down to how you're growing as a person. So make meaning out of life, make meaning out of your relationships. The third thing, of course, was money. Yeah, when it comes to money, I feel like most of us just jump right into it. Like, one moment you are asking for money from your parents, and then one other moment you're making money for yourself, and you've arrived generally, and then you just start spending. You spend. And by the time you wake up, you realize, oh my God, I almost lost it. But at whatever point you wake up, or whatever point you realize it, try to make good use of your money, okay? And I think for me, when I finally woke up, it wasn't early, that is a fact. And I'm actually still waking up, but at least now I know better. Now I know to try and save money. Now I know to try and invest. Now I know to try and find multiple sources of income. So when it comes to money, I don't know if you're like me, already in a quarter life crisis, we know to prioritize. Know, why am I spending on this? Okay, and I get it. We have to reward ourselves. It's okay. Sometimes you just spend and it makes you feel better, which is valid. But there are things but at some point, of course, you have to ask yourself the right questions. What am I doing with my money? What am I doing to get money? Okay, that is the what question. And why am I spending this money? Like I said, so ask yourself the right questions. Okay, why am I doing this business? Sometimes I feel like we jump into things with no purpose, which is not right. So keep asking yourself the right questions. The how, of course, how am I going to make money? How am I going to use my money? How am I going to make more money? So multiple sources of income. But like I talked about this earlier, for me it has been a struggle because juggling a lot of things is not easy. I don't know about you, but for me it is not easy. Being consistent with a lot of things is not easy. Keeping up, showing up, but of course we keep trying. Like I said, we have to keep growing and learning and moving forward. So yeah, I don't know about you guys. I don't know what you're doing to juggle it all. You can share with me and let me know. But we keep trying, we keep learning. And of course, the thing that we keep telling us is that you're working towards getting that freedom, where your money gives you freedom, but also where you get value for your money. Like, you don't just have it lying around there. So hence, trying to invest, trying to learn what to do, and find people that can teach you. There's people, of course, that know better. I'm sure there's people that have been through this situation. So when I struggle, I find people that I can ask, how did you manage, of course, when you are, depending on what you earn. Sometimes it's very little, but you have to ask, what can I do, how can I manage my money, learn how to save and invest. It's not an easy thing. Even for me, it's not been easy, but I keep trying to learn. I keep asking people to guide me. What can I do better? How can I improve myself with my money? This is what I have. I know it's not a lot, but what can I do with it? So ask the right questions when it comes to money, because where we are headed, there's lots of responsibilities, I believe. So we have to work for the future. We have to try and live today, but also be able to enjoy tomorrow. So as we reward ourselves, which is absolutely recommended, I always try to reward myself. It might not be much, but at least I do that once in a while, because you can't just keep saving and saving and saving and investing and not remembering that because you'll die sad. So you have to reward yourself. I don't know if that's good advice, but for me it is. Self-care is important. So find the right priorities, make the right decisions when it comes to money, honestly. Find help if you need it. Me, I need it, so I look for it. I ask the right questions. Of course, I know that there's some things I wish I knew before I reached this far, and there are some things that I wish I had done before. So that's the good thing with growing. Of course, there are mistakes that you made before that you can correct now. So when you remember, it's not too late. You can start saving, start investing however you can. However, you might look at something and you think it's small, but eventually it is actually big. So try a lot of things. Take the risks. You never know. It might turn out to be the lifesaver. It might turn out to be the one thing that actually just expands your territory. So when it comes to money, I think priorities help. Knowing what you're going to spend on and knowing what you're going to do with your money, but most importantly, how you're going to make more money. All in all, whether it is relationships, whether it's career, whether it is money, we have to know that every step counts, however small it is. So small steps, small wins. I keep telling myself, I think I've mentioned this before, that sometimes when it's too much, when it feels like you're just going through this huge fire or huge pile of responsibilities that you have, just picking out the one thing that you can do successfully will be motivation for you to do better. So the small wins, celebrating the small wins and celebrating the small steps, and of course taking those small steps, they're going to be the ones that lead you to achieving your goal eventually. Let us allow ourselves to grow, let us allow ourselves to make mistakes and learn from them and be better. Make the mistake, learn from it, be better. Take the risks and learn from them. Make the sacrifices. You never know, that sacrifice might be the one that changes your life. Okay, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes these are things that I tell myself to just push myself to do something, but I'm like, you know what, this might be something that you don't want to do. This might be something that you're worried about investing in, but just do it. You never know. It might turn out well, and if it doesn't, I'm like, well, we've already moved on, so let's just keep moving. Yeah, so let's allow ourselves to make mistakes, because failure is part of life. It happens. We fail, but we rise again. If you're going through this crisis like me, if you're struggling with your 20s like me, you're not alone. I am right here with you. I am going through it. But I believe that we're going to get better. I believe that we're going to be better. I believe that we are going to shine. We're going to win eventually. This is one battle that we have to win, okay? What we can just take out of this is, one, you're not alone. We're all struggling. But ask the right questions. Ask yourself the what. What do you want to do? Why? Ask the why. What's the purpose? Let it give you purpose. The decisions, the reasons behind what you're doing, let them give you purpose. And ask yourself the how. Of course, it's like I said, it's a learning process. So how are you going to get there? How are you going to get better? How are you going to improve your life? How are you going to grow? So let's keep asking the right questions. Let us try to live through it. I know it's a lot. I know we are struggling, but I believe in us. Okay, I know we can do it, and eventually we're going to win. So that was it about my crisis. I hope you have picked something, and I would like to hear from you guys and know what's going on in your lives, and let's see each other out of this and getting better. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If it is your first time watching, and if you've watched this far, please hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the like and leave a comment down below and share with me, and let's learn from each other. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Till next time. My name is Pajé. I love you all.